Hello, fellow tree haters. This is Ken and Theria, guiding you through Omega V4 Savage. While the mechanics to this encounter are simple, they are extremely unforgiving. You could call it Savage. To start, almost all mechanics function exactly the same as normal mode, but for clarity's sake, we'll go over them as if they were completely new mechanics. Let's start with Blizzard 3, Fire 3, and Thunder 3. These are the first three attacks Exdeath will use, in that order, along with Dual Cast. Dual Cast allows Exdeath to cast the next spell twice. Blizzard 3 will place AoE markers under 5 random players, except for the main tank. Keep in mind that this, Fire 3, and Thunder 3 will all have Dual Cast cast just before them, so be sure to avoid the second set of AoEs. Next is Thunder 3, a tank buster with a small cleave. Look for the cast bar, as it is extremely important to know that after the first cast, remember there is a dual cast, any player's hit will receive a lightning resist down 2 debuff, amplifying any lightning damage one shall take in the next few seconds. The second cast will be instantly after the first cast. Tanks must use either every cooldown they have, plus as many shields as healers can give them, a death-defying cooldown such as Home Gank, or the off-tank can provoke during the cast bar to grab the second Thunder 3. Just be sure not to be stacked with anyone else or next to the main tank that just took Thunder 3. After that is Dual Cast Fire 3. After the cast is complete, 4 DPS will be hit with AoE damage. The healers and tanks get hit next after a small delay, so stay spread out. Healers will have to work hard getting everyone up to full HP, as White Hole is the next cast to look out for. If you are at or below 50% HP, you will cease living, and not being at 100% HP will cause petrification for the next few seconds. The next phase can be difficult to deal with, as it can feel like hundreds of warning lights are going off all at once. The decisive battle will begin being cast right after White Hole, and as it's being cast, deathly vines or tentacles will sprout in a circle around the center of the arena. Take note of the order in which they are spawning. They will either spawn going clockwise or counterclockwise. All players will want to stack on the last vine spawn location. After the cast is complete, the final vine should spawn, and Exdeath will disappear and a proximity AoE will spawn in the center of the arena. The closer to the AoE, the more damage you will take. However, it also has a knockback with that damage. Any further than the vines will probably knock you off the arena, killing you instantly. Make sure to help your healers any way you can to mitigate damage, as because of the proximity AoE, the Holy Stack marker, and then later the Flare markers, you'll be taking a lot of damage while also having to move. After the knockback, the first vine will sweep in a cone, knocking anyone caught by it off, followed by the vines in the order in which they were spawned. Keep moving in the direction the vines spawned, as it can be hard to see Exdeath's ugly tree face is going to breathe on you. It is a large cone and inflicts zombie, causing those afflicted with it to attack nearby players. Just keep running to avoid it altogether. Shortly after Holy deals damage, 3 flare markers appear, one on a tank, one on a healer, and one on a DPS. Keep these markers away to lower the damage they deal. Exdeath will return after flare on a random player, so all players should be on the edge of the arena for Vacuum Wave, which is cast after a void element. When the Lorax reappears, he will begin tethering to the void off the side of the arena, along with an element from the start of the fight, changing how the spell works. When tethered to the void, Exdeath's spells will change as follows. Blizzard 3 will now freeze players who are not moving when the cast completes. Fire 3 now damages players who attack, move, or perform any action for massive damage via the Pyretic debuff. Thunder 3 is a large AoE around Exdeath that inflicts paralysis, all doing massive damage if you fail to avoid them. There is no telling which he will do until he begins casting. Next is Vacuum Wave, which is a massive knockback. Have Exdeath on the edge and position yourself towards the center of the arena to avoid falling off. Arm's Length and Surecast can be used here if needed. Another White Hole immediately follows. After that is Black Hole. It deals raid-wide damage, applying an HP penalty debuff, and spawns black holes, some of which tether to healers and tanks. Tethered black holes will move toward the player, and anyone touching a black hole will die due to the HP penalty. Kite the black holes, sprint works really well here. During this, the boss will cast a dual cast Fire 3 and then target a healer for a Holy Stack AoE. When the Holy AoE goes off, the black holes will disappear. I'm sorry. Another white hole is also going to be cast after that, and then another dual cast Thunder 3. I hope you like raid-wide AoEs, because Meteor is next up, which is high raid-wide damage. After that, another decisive battle phase. Same as before, from this point on he repeats the previous phase, except instead of Fire 3 and Holy, it is Blizzard 3 and Flares. So just make sure you dodge those AoEs and spread out the flare markers. Finally, he will cast another dual cast Thunder 3, and then Meteor. If you have not dealt enough damage at this point, he will cast Meteor again as an Enrage. After this point, you repeat the mechanics until he is down. Yo, what's up? Kinnetheria, unscripted bit right here. On screen for you are each phase and how they operate. Exdeath is probably one of the more unforgiving fights for the first tier. You know, Halicarnassus feels really hard because there's a lot to keep up with. And there's only really just a handful of things to keep up with here besides just getting hit and healing. White Hole, you know, is just, are you not almost dead? And all that kind of stuff, so it's really a heal-intensive fight, and it always feels like, you know, there's almost, well, except for times like this right here where, you know, he's just smacking me, it almost feels like there's no time to do anything, so that's really the hardest part there. This is like one of the first times I've ever done some like real just voice work of just like sitting down at the computer reading a script from little pieces of paper I had lying around to make a script. If audio sounds weird, I don't know why it changed all the time. I don't think I changed my tone, or I probably changed how loud I was, but yeah, sometimes it would just, hey, you know, I'm loud and now I'm quiet, I'm loud and now I'm quiet, but I'll try to make sure it's equalized and all that stuff, so. This should be the end of Phase 3 right here, is another Thunder 3 cast, so that's nice. Obviously, even though I'm level 80, didn't get him to 60%, and likewise not 35 or 5%. So yeah, it's kind of rough, you know. As you can see here, he's about to stop getting hit and he's gonna kill me because he's enraged. But yeah, it's a hard fight, and I think our raid team can do it. We're definitely not the best, but I seriously doubt we're the worst, because we're doing pretty good. Anyways, I'm just gonna end here, and I'll just leave this up on screen for a little bit longer. I guess you could just pause the video, but yeah, that's the whole fight right there. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.